This video provides an overview of the data policies features available in IBM Knowledge Catalog. Users who have permission to implement and monitor data policies will likely be different than the catalog admins. For example, a large company might have multiple catalogs, each with different admins. But managing data policies is the same across all catalogs that have policies enabled. Policy management involves a set of policies and rules that restrict users from accessing data. To use data policies in a catalog, you first need to set the Enforce Data Policies option for the catalog. You can do that when you create the catalog. And in the catalog settings, you can see if policies are enforced. Say you want to create a policy that will restrict access to competitors' data. You do that from the Policies section. This Deny Access policy looks interesting, and it has one rule associated with it. But that's not an exact fit. Here's another policy to protect PII, which has one rule associated with it: to deny access based on a specific tag. While those existing policies and rules are close, it seems appropriate to create a new policy and rule. Let's start with creating the rule. There are two types of rules: data protection rules and governance rules. In this case, you want to create a data protection rule. Rules need a name, type, and business definition. The business definition is important because it describes the rule in plain language and helps users find the rule through search. Then identify the criteria made up of the business terms which can be mapped to users or data. The first condition is to match the asset tag called competitive. And the second condition is to match any user that contains the specified users. With does not contain any. Lastly, set the action to deny access to the assets and create the rule. So now you have the data protection rule defined, and you're ready to create the policy. Note that data protection rules do not need to be included in a policy to take effect, but in this case, you'll create a policy and assign the rule to that policy. Policies require a name and must be associated with a category. The description is optional, but it's a best practice to include it. Then save the policy as a draft. The primary category is the category that owns the policy. You can add any number of secondary categories that would provide additional access to the policy. This policy won't contain any sub-policies or governance rules, but will contain a data protection rule. Add the rule to restrict access, and then publish the policy. It's a best practice to include a publishing comment. Now go back to the catalog and open an asset and tag it with competitive. With that rule and policy in place, any user other than those specified in the rule will be blocked from seeing a data asset tagged with competitive. Find more videos in the documentation.